Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I am so excited, even more than normal, because it's April Sneak Peek Week. It's going to be so good. I have lots of different stamp sets to show you that I pulled to the side. Also, a paper pad, a new one to show you. And we're going to be doing some coloring on a new stamp set that's so beautiful. I was like begging to be able to use it for sneak peeks. So I will do a run through while we give everybody a minute to jump in. I saw Maria was checking in, Susan's here, Diane, Kelly's checking in with us, Darcel, Barbara, Virginia, Lisa checked in super early, it looks like. She said she might be back. Let's see, I see Karen, I see Peggy, Michelle, Anna, Leslie's checking in, Miss Jackie Ann, Kendra's checking in, Kim. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Sneak Peek Week is my favorite week of every month. And this one is so good. So good. It's like if March was very birthday heavy, it feels like April is like the rest of all occasion, right? Like everything else that you need for the rest of the year that's not like a holiday. There's a little bit of holiday in there too, but it's really good. Um, Let me go ahead and switch screens and I'll show you the first the first thing, the first sneak of the week. Let's see. Okay. I do see Polly and Paige and Diane checking in. Lori's here too. Oh, thank you, Michelle. This has been my go-to. Like bangs, little like 2006 prom curls on the side, and then a messy bun. That's just been my hair every day since I cut my bangs. But thank you. I see Melissa checking in too. Okay. Um, I mean, this I'll just show you because it's very cute and we're going to use it. This is the new gradients and dots. So they're double-sided. We're back to 6x6, the 6x6 double-sided pack. You get two, or I think it's two. It might be more. I think it's two of each color. So on one side you have the gradient, and on the other side you have the same color but in the dot. So red, orange, like a mustardy yellow, a kind of yellowy green, a soft green, a true green, a teal, a blue, a navy, a purple, a kind of between pink. I feel like there's one more. Oh, I missed. I skipped the purple. I think I used it. I think I used all my purple. I thought I had some. Maybe I really did use it all. You purple, no, you're blue. Okay, well, you're just gonna have to trust me. There's a purple. So I thought that the gradient would be fun to use today. Um, I think it's very pretty. I think these are also great for, like we said, for year round. Um, and I think it's nice because the gradient is a little softer. The dots are a little more whimsical, right? It's just like a good classic one to have in your stash. Um, I see Darcel said, I actually guessed. Um, Annette's checking in. Mary's here too. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Denise is here. Okay, so the star of the show for tonight is called Peonies in a Jar. It's from Pink and Main and Angie, I'm gonna guess Blom, B-O-B-L-O-M, only one O, so it's not Bloom. We have coordinating dies, of course, but look at this stamp set. Are you kidding me? Literally, the second that I saw it, I knew I had to color it. It wasn't even an option. It's so beautiful. We have a peony bush out front of our house that I love. And so I already love peonies in general, or peonies, depending on where you are. Um, but this is just the sketchy style, everything about it I love. So these are going to be kind of the main features of our card. And then I also, like I said, I have a stack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, six other stamp sets to share with you as we go through. But I'm dying to get this stamped and start coloring. So let's just do that. I don't even know what color background I want. I didn't even get that far. James said, I'm here for the fun. And Christina's checking in too. Yeah, this one is so good. Yeah, Virginia, that's my daughter on my account. And Virginia, fair warning, my mom had an appointment that she couldn't miss tonight. So she might be popping in later or watching the replay. So don't worry when we don't see her. My misty door is getting really gross. Let's see, I have my Pink and Main little craft cleaner. Let's get anything that could transfer off of there. Everything needs a good wipe down. I need a good, like, crafty spring clean. Okay, we're going to be stamping on Copic Express It. We are going to use Copics because there are some smaller detail areas of this stamp that I just feel like I wouldn't be able to do what I want blending wise with Olos. They're just too big. Hey Priscilla, checking in from Montana. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this stamp set is so good. And Peggy said she loves Angie's illustrations. They're so good. And look, like this is 5.5, so that's like a full card front that we could do with that. I'm gonna put it to the side just a little so I have room to die cut. So that back up there. This is definitely gonna need a little conditioning. Oh, you guys are so funny. Oh, Peggy said she always designs for Crop and Create. That's awesome. Hey, Sherry. Okay. And we need asphalt ink. Asphalt ink can be used for alcohol markers. This is a very delicate, thin-lined image. So I'm trying to be careful not to push down super hard with my ink. I don't want it to like puddle with my ink pad. That was a pretty good for a first impression. I think just the stems. I guess we'll just do one more. Just like really lightly tapping now. I really don't want this to get messy. There we go. I also very much am planning on heat embossing and watercoloring with this at some point. Just not the first time, but later in the month or in the beginning of May, we will definitely revisit this stamp set and we'll do some watercolor. I do not claim to be a watercolorist. I just like to dabble. So I think we'll be able to make something fun and not too crazy with some inks, but not today. Sherry, I get mine from scrapbookpal.com. Um, Full disclosure, they're affiliate links, but if you check out on my personal channel, um, Caitlin Annalie Cards, it's linked in the description wherever you're watching. Every single one of my videos, I have their like link set up because they're my favorite place. I haven't bought from them in a little bit just because my collection, I feel pretty good about where it's at right now. I do not have anywhere close to the full set, but I feel like I'm doing pretty well. When I need things, I can usually find what I need. But I've never, ever had an issue with a marker I've bought from there. Yeah, Barbara said that too. She gets hers at Scrapbook Pal as well. Connie's listening on her way home. I love that. Hey, Dawn. I saw Diana jumping in, checking in from Pennsylvania. Priscilla's loving the stamp. Um, hey, Connie. Let's see. Michelle, I do have a Pink and Main affiliate. I do. Um, if you go to any of my hop cards, like every month during sneak peek week, I put out a hop card. Um, there should be, if something's linked in there, it should be an affiliate link. I had to take down my website and I'm still working on getting it, figuring out how to get it back up. They all used to live there. It was very convenient. But that's okay. You don't have to stress about using that. I'm just glad anybody is inspired by what I make. So, Cherry, they have those too. They have nibs and refills on Scrapbook Pal as well. Sherry's listening on her way home from work too. Yeah, they definitely could be poppies or anemones. Is that what they're called? Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go with like a blushy kind of color. And then maybe we'll do like green as our gradient because I think this like very soft kind of springy green would work well with that. And we can use that to inspire our leaf coloring. I'm going to start at the bottom. My little side like face camera part is going to keep freezing. So just ignore that. If my face freezes, don't stress about it. We're going to go in with some BG markers for our jar. We're going to start there. And I'm going to apologize now. My allergies woke up real hard yesterday. The last night I thought I was getting sick, and today I'm pretty sure it is just allergies. But let's see, Miss Judy's here, Dad's here. Sherry, that's a great question. I am not sure what state they're out of. I want to say California, but that could be very wrong. All right, so you can see there's a couple spots that we have artists drawn lines that are not in line with the stems. They're part of the bottle. So I'm just going to start out by kind of adding some color to those areas. And I'm also going to add some around the neck of our bottle. And we can kind of extend these down and kind of fill in, right? I don't want it to be too bold, but I need there to be some kind of color there. So it's BG 23. Then I'm going to switch up to BG 11 and start pulling that color out and connecting those lines, like connect the dots. start for this bottom little curve. I'm going to pull some color down, but also flick some of that color up. And I'm leaving, which is not different for us. I usually leave a good edge highlight anyway, but we're definitely going to want to leave that little edge highlight, a little space around the edges for this kind of glass effect. I feel like my lights are kind of like washing that out. That's a little better, right? So then I'm going to go in with BG10 and really like blend out those edges so that you can't really see where they start and stop into the white. And then you could just stop there, or you can add a little touch of blue to give the separation of glass versus water. So I'm also going to go in with some B00, and this kind of outer edge where we left our highlight, I'm only going to bring my water to those points. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge of the glass, because when you're looking at a glass jar like that, you would see that like white or clear outline there. And of course, this marker is so dry. Okay, so I kind of went across that bottle there. I'm pulling some color down, I'm pulling some color up, and we'll go in. I have a B000 that is not completely dried out. And so I can kind of soften and melt those together a little more with that. But because these are so light and that BG23 still has enough pigment, all alcohol markers are transparent or translucent. I guess transparent, I think. So they're going to layer. So you can, even though you went over with the blue, you can still see that that green continues, that BG continues all the way down. So that's going to give us the look that there's water in our glass. Let me put that B00 up top so I'll remember to check for a refill. And we'll go into at the end with a white highlight, a white gel pen over this, and that will finish selling that it's a glass jar. Okay, for our greens, if we're working with these very pretty springy greens, hey Raquel and Jody. Let's see, where is my hex chart? So YG17 straight off the bat looks like a good starting point, which means we can probably also bring in some YG03. And then we need a deeper option, maybe like a YG67 or G07. Let's do a little swatch with that. See how this looks. All right, we have YG03, YG17, YG67. Oh yeah, YG07 is way too green. Okay, there we go. So some of these, there's two different styles of leaves in here. Well, at least two, right? We have a couple that are these big, bold ones. And we have these other ones that are kind of smaller and more pointy. And then these are kind of in between, which I think these are the ones that actually look like the peony leaves. But I think I'm gonna keep pretty much breaking it down. The ones that have all of the little veins breaking out are going to be darker, and all the ones that have just like a single stripe through them will be lighter. I think that's um, the easiest version. Hey, Linda, you are good. Yeah, we're just pretty much starting out now. Um, I already forgot what I said was going to be what. These are going to be darker. I think that's what I said. So YG 67. Running that color through that main center line. For these smaller ones, we don't even have to do the like little flicks out, just through the center is enough. And if I miss one, which I probably will, okay, we can just come back to it. Then we'll switch over to YG 17. And this, we're gonna leave very little space. Our highlight is just like barely gonna show up on these. Just running that YGO3 right along those edges. Okay. Now for the smaller ones, we're just not even going to go in with the 67. We're just going to do the 17 and the 3. So just kind of tapping in the YG17 down at the base of the leaves. Even for these ones that are a little bit bigger. And same thing, if I miss one, as we fill up the image, it'll become really clear where everything is. Denise, it's not a surprise. They should be coming this week. Our chicks should be ready this week, but I don't have, or they didn't give me an exact date. They kind of just said like be ready the week of, like when you pick, and we'll let you know when they're ready. So we're officially on chick watch. And I just found out today that I'm off on Friday. So hopefully, if we get the email tomorrow or Thursday, I'll just go pick them up on Friday. I have until next Monday to get them once I get the email. So, which does mean that by next week when I show them to you, they probably won't be as fuzzy and cute. But I think they stay cute for like at least a solid week or two before they start to get weird looking. And their little inner dinosaurs start to come out. All right, there's also not many of these are like an actual stem, but there's a couple. So we'll just pop a little green down there as well. But you can see like how pretty all of those greens are going to look with that like ombre blend, gradient blend background. Just re-emphasize some of the stems on those. Oh, happy early birthday, Melissa. Okay, time for the best part of the whole thing in making our peonies. So mine are like a soft pink. Mine are a little more on like the RV scale, but let's take a look. We could go like into more of the like fuchsias, but I really like the way that the like softer, peachier pinks look with this green. So I think we're gonna stick with that, like over on that side. So maybe a little R14 right up here. I am gonna try to keep these very soft. Um, R14, maybe like a R32. I feel like they also dry different, like after a while, right? Like this is, I've had this chart for like years now. Um, and then maybe like R12. Let's do a little swatch of that and see where we're at. Um, making your husband take you out, but he doesn't know yet. Oh, that's so funny. That's 14, 32, 12. I don't love the 14. What else? The 14 is just pulling like really red, and I'm not going for red. I'm definitely solidly going for pink. So, mm, maybe we just do that and then even one lighter, like a little R11. Let's give that a go. If we need more contrast, we can always play around. You know what? Let's do that. We'll just start off with that. Let's go in with some warm gray and start laying in some shadows. Because we're kind of in our darkest second number, our highest second number on here is 2. I'm going to go with like a 4, a W4. So it's just a little bit darker, but this is going to help give us some shading and contrast without changing that color. So I'm going to start at the base of each petal that we can see, and then anywhere where one petal is overlapping another. And because how peonies bloom open, right, for these ones where the petals are kind of flattened out, that shading is going to come from like the base, the core part of the flower, and kind of down, where for these ones that are still curled up, all of that shading is going to pull up, right? Like we're using the artist drawn lines to tell us exactly what direction our shading needs to go in. That's what I love about this style of stamped image, this illustration, is like the artist already did all of the brain work for you. You just have to kind of follow their lead. All of these sketch marks tell you where your shadows are. And because this is just meant to give some depth. I'm not going to take forever on this part because we're still going to go over everything that is this warm gray with our darkest pink. This is kind of the idea, like there's been a couple times where we've used purple or like a very, very pale violet to shade for yellow. And it's that same idea. If you keep going darker and darker within the yellow family, basically you're just going to end up with orange. So if you don't want orange, you got to bring in a different color, a different shadow. Let's see. My daughter's moving back in. Oh my gosh. As someone who is, at least at this moment, gluten-free, I feel for you. It is not easy or generally enjoyable. I do not like it. 0 out of 10 recommend. All right, so I'm going in with that R32, and like I said, just kind of laying in my color in the same areas that our warm gray was. We can pull up a little further. We don't have to be like scared. It's not like it has to go in the exact same spot. That's kind of just like our map that we made for ourselves. But that little extra touch of gray to our pink is really going to help this look like a shadow without being darker or red. That's really all I want. And always remember you can move your paper around. I know I haven't showed anything else. When we get these colored before we die cut them or do anything else, I'll show you guys another stamp set. I figured it was easier to just pull all the stamp sets for today, and then we can look at all of the die sets and foil sets, foil stuff on Thursday. All right, so now I'm going to go in with a little bit of R12. And honestly, it might just be those 3 colors. I might not even go in with that lightest one because I like the little hint of white on the edges of these petals. So I'm not taking that color all the way through the rest of the flower. And again, because of the style that this was drawn in, it having a little bit of a sketchy feel to the coloring is nice. Like you don't have to stress about every single edge being perfectly blended because with the way it's drawn, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. It's not like there's any big like sections, big open spaces that you would notice if you don't have like the smoothest blend. These are like a very coloring friendly. I know I said I was going to leave them, but there's like a couple spots. I'm just going to run the tiniest bit of R00. You could just do this with colorless blender too. Not even everywhere. That's good. And then for the centers, I feel like the center of mine are dark, like darker. So maybe we'll bring in like a darker red just for that. Some R56. They're definitely not yellow. I know like my go-to for flower centers most of the time is like a yellow, but my peonies definitely don't have yellow centers. And there's just enough for these bigger two at the bottom that you see into that. I'm going to bring in a little 59. Just kind of stippling that in. Again, you don't have to worry about a smooth blend there because it's not drawn that way. I really like those. So pretty. All right, and then let's grab a gel pen. I have my pen still. You work. Just to break up those colors. And I like to make sure that I'm also going over the stems that run down at the bottom of the jar so that you can see that there's that glass is on top of it, that it's a true highlight. We can always just like come in with like a little streaky white too, just to push those back even a little bit further. Right, see how that like little hint of white over the top just like pushes those stems straight back. Right, that dark center helps to like bring it and balance out the black stems too, I think. The flowers are they're my favorite. And I don't think I don't know how much I showed in the beginning because I was too excited, but all of the sentiments have coordinating dyes. You guys know I love that. Here, Maria. Okay, let's try this guy out. Oh, look at me. I already forgot. Let's pause and let me show you another stamp set. Let's do two because there's a couple that are like in pairs. Let me grab these two. So these are Good Guys and My Hero. Okay, and they're so good. So this is Good Guys, and these are like generally masculine, any sentiment you could pretty much need, right? So happy retirement, you get world's best, and then you can put uncle, grandfather, dad, husband, brother, grandpa, father, son. And then you're one of the good guys. I love that you're my dad. Enjoy your day, right? Some of these are very all purpose, any card. Thanks to you, I'm awesome. That could go to mom or dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Thanks for being so awesome. There's nothing you can't tackle. Use that for work if you want. So many options here. You're the best dad in the history of dads. You're my superhero. So perfect timing for Father's Day and graduation season, but honestly, I think a great addition to any stamp stash for year round. And because we all know moms are cooler, there's a mom option, right? So this one's the My Hero. So you got happy retirement over here, happy birthday over here, and then world's best to the greatest grandma, sister, mother, aunt, grandmother, daughter, mom, and then wishing you a super birthday, love and appreciation. I couldn't wish for a better daughter, mom, aunt. You make the world a better place. Thanks for being a role model. You're the mom everyone wishes they had. No matter how old I get, I'll never stop needing you. I could just like cry right here, but I'm going to try to keep it together. Um, and if you have them both, you can obviously swap them around too. So thankful you are my dad, right? Always look up to you, dad or mom. Like you can mix and match them so easy. I also like your like family to me. I'm a fan of that one. I definitely had family growing up that wasn't maybe blood family, but they were family. So that is Good Guys and My Hero. And as far as I know, these don't have coordinating dies, but would be so easy to just cut out and stamp in a strip. So love that. Those two will be available on Friday. Yeah, Darcel and I missed it. Someone else said it too, that the masculine set is really good and those can be hard to come by. I agree. Um, and I love that they're not overly specific. So you have a lot of um, room for creativity. And I love that the font's not super specific. So it would fit so many like themes, right? Like sometimes when they're super cursivey loopy, then they don't fit like a more casual card, or if they're super cartoony, then I feel like they don't fit a really like, you know, fancier card. So I love that they're just like a little more everyday appropriate. All right, so there is our beautiful florals. I'm going to leave the bottom white for now. You could definitely color the bottom part wood, like brown or wood or like some kind of color to give it like a base, but I really like the white. I think I'm going to leave the white. There was one spot when I was coloring that I realized I skipped. I left my greens out just in case that happened. Okay, so here is the next thing I have to figure out. I don't know. I didn't grab anything else to make with this. So we're going to do um, a sentiment from the set, but I need like a die to mat this or like make something fun, right, out of this. You guys know I have been obsessed with my oblong octagons. That would be really pretty. And it seems like a great size. And then to just have like a little thin white border. You lost the sound. Did everybody lose the sound? Oh no, Virginia said, oh no. What did I do? This says I'm still on. Am I not on? Okay. Melissa's answering like I am fine. Darcel has sound. Okay. I'm gonna run this through. Um, I'm gonna run this through my die cut machine. And I kept it up higher so that I would get more green than white. And we need some white cardstock. Okay, 5.5 by 4.25. And our octagon, yeah, I was going to say it's going to take up a big chunk of that space, which is what I want. I think I'm going to put the octagon flat and we can top up a floral and figure out where our sentiment's going to go. There's my little green octagon. I mean, this could be centered, but I kind of like it popped over to the side a little bit so we have some room here for our sentiment. And I know I said I loved that the coordinating dies that we had them for the sentiments, but I kind of want to stamp directly on here. And I think spacing wise, the thoughts of you warm my heart is a really good size. So let's just stamp that directly onto our little card front. And then I can show you some more sneak peeks. Because for how like detailed and frilly this stamp set seems, it came together pretty quickly. Okay. So just holding that in place for spacing. And when I'm looking through my MISTI, I never like show you guys what I'm looking for. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it well. But when I'm looking, this etched line is at the same mark for this R as it is, like it's at the same height for the R in heart as it is in warm. So if they're the same, hitting the same spot on similar letters, like from multiple words, then I know I'm good. Because this is coded, I am going to go in with ink on 3 for this. It's a waterproof. I'm hoping that means it'll be less smudgy because I don't have a lot of time to let it dry. Lots of you warm my heart. Try flipping the cards so the heaviest are in the white spaces. So you think I should have turned it over? I mean, I can show you what that would look like, but I already turned it. Like that. That's Jackie. I guess it would cover. That's Jackie Ann's vision. Like that. So the colors at the bottom. I get what you're saying, and I'm sure from like an artistry standpoint, that makes more sense to have the green and the weight of that green at the bottom. But I really love the contrast of the deeper green against the pink. So I'm gonna leave it, but there's 100%, you're right. Like that is very pretty. I see both visions. And I need some foam. Where's the foam? Right, like when we talk about the rule of thirds or like odd numbers or triangles, like those are good general guidelines to follow. But just like in one of the greatest films of all time, Pirates of the Caribbean, they're more guidelines than actual rules. So if there's a style that you just like and something just looks good to you, that's okay too. Christina, that's how I feel too. Like it's the addition of the vase and like that teal color, and that's just lighter. I really like the pink up against that bolder green. But there is no right and wrong when it comes to that part of card making. Okay. I'm gonna baby trim those little edges right off. And then that is our little card front. And you know what? I think we just got green rhinestones, right? I don't think those are the right green though. I'm not sure. I don't know if rhinestone is the vision. Where are my pearls? Look at some pearls. I feel like it just needs like a little, like those pink pearls look pretty cute, I think. Let's see, I don't have nails. I should be able to make this like a little, right, speaking of little triangles, a little something down there maybe. A little pop of something up there. I don't know, maybe the big ones are too big. I like that a little better. Green sea glass. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa said pink. You guys are so funny. I think that's really cute. Maybe I do just like the two at the bottom. Right, and that's the thing. We say like triangles are good, but also odd numbers are good. So like the 5 across the card still makes sense. But I like that it's kind of pulling your eye across. All right, so that is that card front. Good to go. Let's play with more stamps. It's very ironic that I'm pretty sure Gail's not here because I'm pretty sure it was her, was specifically asking about the mouse of the month. And so I want to show you April's mouse. This is April's mouse. He's a little April shower mouse. So sorry you're under the weather. When life gives you rain, dance in the puddles, and rain or shine, I'm here for you. So stinking cute. And that of course has a coordinating die, but such a cute mouse. I know Michelle will be happy. She loves the pink and Maine mice too. So that's the little mouse you can get on his own, or he is like a gift when you purchase over a certain amount of dollars. I should probably know what that amount is, but I don't. I never do. And then if you liked the idea of the thin sentiments that are good for all year, but you like a more cartoony, whimsical um, font, then this one is for you. This is called More Spotlight Sentiments. And look how good it is. Happy Dad's Day, Happy Mom's Day, congrats. Miss your smile, thank you much. Happy birthday, sending cheer, have a great day, just for you, get well wishes, and hello there. So perfect for year round. I love that they're stacked, and so they're perfect for little squares, rectangles, circles, little openings, smaller die cuts. Perhaps something fun that we'll see on Thursday, speaking of die cuts. Um, but this is such a fun, like, this is what I mean though. This to me doesn't quite fit the vibe of a stamp like this. And this doesn't quite fit the vibe of like a really cutesy one. So that's where I feel like if you do a wide range, um, that something like this fits both of these better, right? But if you know you go very cutesy or you like to use things where you need like a bold central stamp, then I mean, these are just adorable. Yeah, I love that it stacks these, so it's so good. So that's called More Spotlight Sentiments. And then these two also go together. These are Dad Badges and Woman of the Year. And these will also make more sense on Thursday. So this is Dad Badges. So best grandfather ever, you're number one, Grill King, the real boss, like fishing reel, Rad Dad, Rock Star, Super Dad, Man of the Year, Dad of the Decade, Superhero, Best Dad Ever, and then World's Greatest, and with a space. So you could put son, boss, brother, uncle, husband. And I love that, like, boss. Anybody can give that to anybody, right? World's Greatest Boss could go to anybody. And then Woman of the Year looks like this. So you have Daughter, Cool Mom, Woman of the Year, Superwoman, Princess, Super Mom, Rock Star, Most Amazing Grandmother, which you might be able to tell has already been used, Mother, Queen of the House, and then again, World's Greatest, Grandma, Sister, Daughter, Mom, Aunt. Love it. So these will also, like I said, make more sense on Thursday to give you more options of like what else in this release you can use these for. But they, I think, are just great. And anybody who has like any kind of stack circle dies, you wouldn't need anything else to, to use these. You could stamp these directly, but if you have a circle die from any company ever, you could easily use these on anything you want. So I think they're very fun. So those are, besides the stamp of the month, right? We know that will automatically come out as well with the release, so you can get it on your own if you didn't get it already. So we'll have that. And then all of these beautiful stamp sets will be available on Friday by 9 a.m. Eastern. And then we're going to have even more stamp sets, or no, even more new stuff to look at on Thursday. Thursday, we will be using a die set to make a really fun card. And we'll be looking at multiple new die sets, as well as um, foil, all of our new foil products. So I hope that you are excited for all of that. I think it's going to be a really great week. I can't wait for you guys to see. There will also, Donna will be live tomorrow. She's showing another die set. We're using different ones. So if you come to all three of our lives, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll see something very different for all three. We're not repeating. We're working on that coordination. And um, Michelle always does something over the weekend. Libby usually tries to do something on the Friday. We're going to have a hop on Friday. There's also a new challenge happening. So it's a very exciting week over here with Pink and Me. I'm talking to you while I'm combining my stamp and die before I lose something. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these sneak peeks. I am just still so in love. And like I said, next month or later in April, we will heat emboss and watercolor those for sure. But yeah, until Thursday, I hope that you guys have an amazing day tomorrow. Check out Donna's live tomorrow night, and I'll see you guys back here soon. Have a great day, and until next time, happy crafting.